Hello and welcome to Direct Stars. Today we're going to be talking about adjectives. Now, these are the objectives of today's lesson. The first is to define what an adjective is. The second is to identify adjectives and sentences. The third is to describe the types of adjectives we have. The fourth is to use adjectives correctly in sentences. And the fifth is to compare between comparative and superlative adjectives. So let's go into today's lesson. Now, what's an adjective? Now, an adjective is a word that describes or qualifies a noun or pronoun. It tells us more about the noun, such as its quality, its quantity, its size, or number. Now, we're already very familiar with nouns. Nouns are naming words. They are used to give titles and names to objects, people, persons, and places. Adjectives essentially give us more information. So, if we have a noun, let's say boy. Boy is a noun. It's a name. It's a gender. Now, if we want to give more information to boy, we're trying to describe the boy. So we say the tall boy, the short boy. Let's look at a building, for example. Buildings are also nouns. Let's say a church. A church. We can say an adjective adding to describe the church even more, using an adjective to describe that church. We can say the big church, the small church. You are describing the noun in that sentence, which is church. So that is essentially how adjectives work. Now we have different types of adjectives. The first is the adjectives of quality, which describes the kind or nature of something. For example, if we say the beautiful dress, a wise man. Beautiful and wise show us the quality. They show us the nature of the noun in that sentence. So dress is the noun there. Beautiful is showing how easy on the eye the dress is. For man, wise is showing how bright or how intelligent or how learned the man is. That's an adjective of quality. We also have adjectives of quantity, which tells us how much of something is present in the sentence. So if we say, oh, if someone asks the question, oh, how much water flooded the room? Oh, it was only little. Or if we rephrase it, let's ask a better question. Oh, how many books did you buy at the bookstore? I bought some books. Some gives us, number one, a vague amount of books, but it also gives us the more description that you bought more than one book. You probably bought more than two books. From three, four, we can't decide, but some gives us a vague amount, but shows us that the noun in the sentence is more than one, which is an adverb, which makes some, sorry, an adjective or quantity. We also have adjectives of number, which tells us how many. Now, that is quite simple. It's in the name. If we say, oh, how many books, using the same example, how many books did you buy? Oh, I bought three books. That shows us the number of books in the sentence. Demonstrative adjectives point out specific nouns. Oh, this man, this boy, that church, these apples. Man, boy, church, apples, they're all nouns. This, that, and these are demonstrative adjectives. They are pointing out the specific noun in the sentence. So if we look at the sentence, oh, the church around the corner is playing a loud song. The church around the corner, you are pointing, or we say that church. around the corner is playing a loud song. So you are pointing directly to the noun in the sentence, which is one of the nouns in the sentence, which is church. And then we also have possessive adjectives, which tells us it shows ownership. We have my, your, our, his. If we say, oh, my book, your book, our pencil, his table, it shows possession. And then we also have interrogative adjectives, which are used to ask questions. For example, which book do you prefer? What table would you like to sit on? Those are all types of adjectives. Now, there are also degrees of comparison when it comes to adjectives. Now, positive degree describes one thing. If we say John is tall, Noah is short, you're describing one thing. There's comparative degree, which compares two things. We say, oh, John is taller than Noah. And then we use superlative degree, which compares more than one thing, which is John is the tallest of all the boys in class. That shows us that degree of comparison. Now, there are several common errors to address. The first is double comparison. Now, some words are already in superlative form, so you don't need another adjective to describe the noun that you are trying to give more description to. So you can't say things like more better, because better is already in its comparative form. So you can just say better instead of saying more better. Wrong adjective placement. You can place the adjectives wrongly. You can place it in the wrong part of the sentence. For example, if you say she has hair black, no, that's wrong. She has black hair. Confusing adjectives with adverbs, where if you say she sings beautiful, no, it's not correct. She sings beautifully, which is an adverb of manner. So in summary, adjectives describe a noun or pronoun, and there are different types. And we can also compare adjectives from a positive perspective, comparative, and superlative form. So we've come to the end of the class. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please do not forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Thank you, and bye for now.